My team has spent months building this site for a client, the brand, the CMS, the components, all of it. And I want to show you today what happens when you hand some of that ongoing work to a Framer AI agent on a live production site, not a demo. I'm Pallen, a brand strategist. Welcome to my channel where I share practical tools and advice to help you build and grow your brand. Today, we are inside Framer, and I want to show you something specific. I'm not building from scratch. I'm working on a real client site for Ecamm, a video production platform, live streaming actually, for Mac. And my team has rebranded and rebuilt their website completely this year. Full brand identity, new guidelines, new website, the whole shebang. And what I want to show you is how Framer Agent fits into a professional workflow on a site that already exists, already has a client brand behind it, and already needs to keep moving. I'm partnering with Framer on this video. It's a tool that my team and I are using on real client work. We're even rebuilding my website here. Everything that you're about to see is on a live project, not something that I'm making up for a YouTube video. Ecamm also has a blog, hundreds of posts, a lot of them migrated across from WordPress. One of the things that my team's been working through is getting those posts to display properly inside Framer, including making sure YouTube video embeds actually render correctly instead of showing up as plain URLs. So I'm going to show you how the agent handles that kind of production problem. This is the Ecamm blog in Framer. This is the backend. We've migrated a large number of posts from WordPress using this handy plugin right here, WP Sync. So grateful for that. You'll notice right away that some of the YouTube embed codes did not carry over cleanly. Instead, it's showing the URL. Now, this challenge, among many others, is a familiar one for anyone who's done a platform migration. WordPress or similar platforms, they handle YouTube embeds one way, Framer handles them another, and then when you move hundreds of posts across, some formats, media elements, URLs, they come through differently. In this case, as URLs rather than embed players. Again, this is just one example, there are many. Before, your option was, I don't know, update it manually or write some code to handle it, but by the time you troubleshoot that and test it, you probably could have just done it one by one. Both options are time consuming. However, now we've got the built-in Framer agent. I ask it to find the YouTube URL sitting as plain text. In the first blog post, we're gonna try that and we're gonna convert it to a proper embedded video player. Now, before I ask the agent to work through the whole collection, I wanna test it on one post first. That's good practice with the agent generally. Try it on a single example, confirm that it does it right, and then you scale. That saves credits, which can add up fast on a large site. Okay, you see it working. It finds the entry, makes the change, and the URL becomes a playable video right inside the post content. From here, running the same prompt across every affected post in the collection is straightforward. Here's what the after looks like. Of course, I had already tested this before, making sure it was possible before recommending it to you. And the good news, it does for a blog with over 200 entries. That is the difference between a maintenance task that takes an afternoon or longer and one that only takes a few minutes. Ecamm site has a lot of content across different categories, creators, use cases, and features. One of the ongoing jobs on a site like this is keeping the CMS organized and consistent as new content gets added. That used to be a slow, very manual process, but let me show you what that looks like now. Ecamm's blog has two category fields. One is a simplified label used for filtering and sorting behind the scenes. The other is the more descriptive, human readable version a reader actually sees on the page. When you're migrating hundreds of posts and adding content over time, some entries end up with missing or inconsistent values across those fields. Okay, before I ask it to work through the whole collection again, I'm gonna test it on a small batch for this video. Same principle as before, confirm it does exactly what you want before committing credits to the full job. Okay, let's see. Awesome. It comes back with a clear list of proposed changes before it touches a single entry. I love to ask it that. I feel like it improves my communication with the agent. I'll tell it to proceed. This is the bit that matters the most on a client side. I review the suggestions, I approve what looks right, and then the agent applies them. In Framer, if I'm not happy with the change, I can simply undo it. Once I'm happy with how it handled the first 10, scaling it to the full collection of 200 plus posts is just a matter of running the same prompt again. Here's one that I'm most careful about. Ecamm site is live. It has real traffic, and there are pages that I want to update across breakpoints without touching what's published. So before I do anything at scale, I branch. Yes, I'll create a branch first, so nothing that I'm about to do affects the live Ecamm site until I'm ready. Up at the top here of the canvas, next to the site name, I click main, and then I'm gonna create a new branch with this plus sign. I give it a name, something descriptive, maybe response-pass. So my team and I both know what this is for. From now on, every change that I make stays here. The live site is untouched. Now I can ask the agent to go through the pages we've recently updated and check the tablet and phone layouts. Ecamm's brand is bold, there's lots of large type, strong color blocks. With that kind of design, you need to pay special attention at smaller breakpoints, and it's easy for things to shift when you've been building fast. Okay, the agent works through the pages, makes the layout adjustments, and then flags anything that I wasn't sure about. I can then review each change visually, adjust the handful of things my eye would have caught anyway, and then when I'm satisfied, I can apply the branch to main. That updates the live site, and then the client sees the result. But I love this because I'm the one who signs off on every detail before it is shipped. So that's 3 things: a content migration fix that would have taken hours by hand, a CMS cleanup that kept the structure consistent at scale, and a responsive pass done safely on a branch. What they all have in common is that none of them is the flashy part of a website job. They're the production work, the part that happens after the design is done and the client is live and the site needs to keep working well. What I didn't expect is how much it changes actually the client relationship. Ecamm can watch this stuff happen. They can see the site being worked on in real time, review changes on a branch before anything goes live, and feel like they're part of the design process because they are. That is a better client experience than I would say what I was delivering before. And it comes from the fact that Framer keeps the design and production in the same place. I am more confident recommending Framer to the brands that I work with than I ever have been, and I'm excited about what my team can deliver with it. So that is Framer AI agents on a real client site, the production work handled, the taste and judgment still ours. If you want to try it, my link is below. I definitely recommend it. Speed up your workflow with Framer today. Tell me in the comments, what is the first thing that you're going to work on using the agent? I'm replying to each and every one of those. If this is useful for you, hit like. It helps other people discover this video, and subscribe for more on branding, positioning, and growing your business. I'm Pallen. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.